Say, Gazy, what do you get when you mix Marvel and anime and Spider-Man and Shinji Ikari? You get this awesome character, Penny Parker. Penny Parker, you guys may know her from Into the Spider-Verse. It starred the hero Miles Morales and him coming with his powers and all that stuff. Well, the idea of Into the Spider-Verse actually came from this comic in this event. The event's called Spider-Geddon. In the event Spider-Geddon, there's this like spider. There's like a vampire. They're called the Inhibitors, I believe. And what they do is that they've transcended dimensions and they started to eat spider people. So all the heroes that you saw, they were going after. For example, Penny Parker and Gwen Stacy. Gwen Stacy made her appearance, I believe, in issue 3. Bam. In issue 3 of this little preview Kickstarter to the Spider-Geddon event comic. Here, you'll see Penny Parker, and she's really awesome, and she's not drawn in this like chibi diva mech thing that they had going on in the movie. It was different. It was different. What I love about this is that it was like created with Gerard Way of My Chemical Romance. Yes, I thank you, Gerard. Thank you. Umbrella Academy and Penny Parker. Well, I love that that she's actually using that they illustrated an Evangelion-esque spider mech. Now there are spider mechs, robots in the Spider-Verse, but not this hint. So this comic, in this comic, there's this combination of Evangelion, Neon Genesis Evangelion, and Spider-Man. What I love, and the reason why I wanted to make this video, is because Evangelion is coming out on Netflix, and it is going to traumatize and call into question everything you think you know so much about life, politics, growing up. It's going to your intro to philosophy class and psychology in college. Listen, you're not ready. You are not ready for what's going to happen because Evangelion prepared me and traumatized me enough, and like people who are in like my generation, who watched Evangelion because of Adult Swim, and we stayed up till 4 in the morning watching anime, and that's how I lived after, like during high school and kind of a couple months after high school. So Penny Parker, this is her, and she lost her father. Her father mysteriously died. What I'm gonna do in this video is make the analysis, like comparisons right off the bat. I'm not gonna do it like one and then the other, everything together. Her father mysteriously passed away. Well, in the anime, Shinji Ikari's mom, which is the main character, Shinji Ikari's mom, she's gone, missing, and she presumably dead. Here, her father mysteriously died, so we don't know. The pilot she's the pilot of Spider, SP//DR, as opposed to Shinji Ikari being the pilot of Eva Unit 1. It's very Evangelion-esque in the drawing style. If you can come across the comic or see images of it online and Google it, it's a very cool like concept because it's heavily borrowing from Hideki Anno's work. There's this really cool connection. There's the stepfather. Her stepfather is known as Ben Parker, and Ben Parker looks like Gendo Ikari. And if you've seen this, then you know what I'm talking about. Look up Gendo Ikari meme, and you'll see this. I used to love this pose. You've probably done this pose too when you're like in school and you're trying to be in thought because you're doing a test and you're like thinking and thinking. That's what I used to do. Ben Parker is taking on the role of Gendo Ikari. In the classroom that she goes to, the school, there is a Kwaru, Asuka, and Rei Ayanami. And in the classroom, for this like one panel, and it's such an awesome. There's stuff like that everywhere. There is a 2, 1, 3, and 4 Dragon Balls. I don't know why the Dragon Balls were there. It's another thing that Gerard Way and everybody else that was involved in the comic, they decided to put in there like Easter eggs, and it was really cool stuff. The Venom, there's a Spider-Man suit. There's a Venom suit. The Venom, it's piloted by Addie Brock. Now, if you've seen the original Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, then you know Eddie Brock, Venom, or even this latest iteration, Eddie Brock. But here it's Addie, and she's piloting the Venom suit. And the Venom suit goes crazy. It goes crazy. Kind of like Venom, and kind of like the Ava units. All of the Ava unit 0, 1, and 2, all those 3 Ava suits, they kind of all go crazy themselves. Mobius, the living vampire, takes on a role of the angels. The angels in the anime, the angels are the villains. They're like these celestial evil creatures that are destroying Neo Tokyo, or Neo Japan, I think. The Oscorp in Marvel, it's Norman Osborn's corporation, evil corporation. Like almost all of Spider-Man's evil villains that like have bank, it's because they have a corporation of some sort. And the same thing is with Oscorp. Now Oscorp though is paralleling Nerve. Nerve is this underground hush-hush organization underneath the earth that like handles and works with developing the AVA units. There's a 5-minute energy that the mech suits have, and that's very similar to Evangelion. Now, even in Evangelion, remember how I mentioned psychology? Well, the AVA units were tethered by a power cord that was similar to a gas pump cable with the head. And so that cable was actually put into the AVA units, and as long as it was connected to the AVA unit had power. But the second there was a disconnect, well, the AVA unit had 5 minutes of power to work with. What I think Hideki Anno was trying to illustrate was his Freudian psychology. The dude was going through a lot of depression, and what was happening was that it was reflecting on his anime. And so he's going through this Freudian maze, and he puts in this connection, and it's actually akin to the tether, the umbilical cord, because the AVA units. Well, I don't know if I should spoil it. Well, I won't spoil it. But there's a connection that the cable has in something with Freudian philosophy. You'll enjoy. I wanted to make this video because I heavily enjoyed this work. I really loved it, and I loved what Evangelion did. Now I do mention that it gave me a bit of trauma. But it was stuff that people have to work through, and you have to face it eventually. So Hideki Anno, he didn't end up. I'm glad he didn't commit suicide. I'm glad he survived and he's alive. But you got to be careful when you watch this anime. There are things that it tries to teach you. And there are rabbit holes that you will never listen. I've seen the movies. You're never gonna get satisfied with the maze that Anno puts you on. But it's a testament to what he was going through. And unlike people that I've venerated and I've enjoyed and I celebrated, like Chester Bennington, like Chris Cornell, uh, he worked through it and he survived. And so I really enjoy Evangelion for what it meant for me at that point in my anime era. So hope you enjoyed this combination. I think you will like uh, Evangelion. I think you will love Penny Parker a lot more, and hopefully she has a different there's a different like artistic take on her in the next Intro to the Spider-Verse movie. So my name's Gazy. I host the Outlet Podcast. Find me on Instagram at outlet_podcast, on Facebook, Twitter, Outlet Podcast, all that. And say Gazy.